Billy Mitchell's Donkey Kong scores have been reinstated on Twin Galaxies. I have not made one single video talking about this whole fiasco, but my God, I'm sure if you're a fan of classic video games, you've heard of Billy Mitchell, who was a high score champion from the 1980s. A few years ago, there was a whole bunch of disputes about his Donkey Kong scores and whether they were legitimate. He was accused of using modified arcade hardware. So this has been a headline topic for quite some time. I think, man, I've seen so many people make YouTube channels practically dedicated to this. I've seen people from Tipster to Carl Jops, you name it, covering this whole incident. It really was a pivotal moment in gaming history, considering Billy Mitchell was a world record holder for many titles and was most famously known for the Donkey Kong high score. I mean, they even had that movie, The King of Kong, that had him in it. So, yeah, this being stripped of it, the Guinness Book of World Records removing his scores and everything, it was like a huge, big deal. Now, full disclosure, I did meet Billy Mitchell a couple years ago, and I am going to share my thoughts on what I think about him as an individual and the whole situation. But this is no form or fashion defamation or any kind of slander or anything. I know it's going to be a very divisive comment section down below. Majority of you guys might be leaning towards fuck him, and majority of you guys might be like, hey, you know what? I respect him and all this. This is just a discussion piece, so disclaimer out of the way. Here's something that's happening. They have reinstated his scores on Twin Galaxies as a result of, I guess, some kind of investigation that was going on. And just a couple days ago, the lawsuit was settled between Billy Mitchell and Twin Galaxies. And again, I really haven't talked about this whole situation, and I didn't really give my opinion or anything, but Twin Galaxies today made a statement saying that after considering expert opinions, especially from Dr. Zyda on Mitchell's behalf, that they've decided to reinstate all of Mitchell's scores. So this includes the iconic Donkey Kong scores of the 1,047,200, 1,050,200, and the 1,062,800, which is basically the resolution of a 4-year-long battle. If you've been keeping up with it, I'm sure lots of you guys have been keeping up with it. Again, I hadn't talked about it. I just kind of never threw my name into the hat, but it was an interesting situation indeed. So as a result of this, Billy Mitchell did go and make a press release. He put a Twitter statement as well where he expressed his satisfaction with the resolution and the reinstatement of his scores. He basically mentioned that there was an abundance of facts, that there was eyewitness accounts, and expert testimony that proved the legitimacy of the records. And, you know, it's a very divisive subject, guys. I've seen it even firsthand, which I'm going to talk about when I met him at Retropalooza. Leading up to it, I saw in the comment section when he was announced as official guest, there was a lot of people that were, you know, I guess criticizing Retropalooza for bringing him out as a guest and saying that they didn't want to be there and this and that. Billy Mitchell was there on the floor talking to anyone that had any questions at any point in time about the whole situation. He was available for people to talk to and to question, which to me, that's going a long way. But also as a guest, this guy was above and beyond a hospitable guest. He was there right before the doors opened, saying hi to everybody that was in line. He was greeting everybody at the front door, which he did not have to. He had his own little booth where he had a Pac-Man cabinet that he was playing live in person where people could actually witness him playing the game. And then after the whole event, he went to Free Play Arcade and played on their arcade cabinet that was certified for competition. I watched him play it live. So regardless of what you want to believe or what you want to think, there's no denying that Billy Mitchell has some video game skills. I witnessed it firsthand, and I was like, holy crap, this guy is legit. So all the controversies aside or anything like that, he actually sat down for a good 10-15 minutes with me and talked to me about everything, not just video games, but talked to me about real life, introduced me to his wife, talked about his children, talked to me about my life and everything. And I had a great first impression from Billy Mitchell that was totally different than from what I've heard online, which is what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover when it's people with internet personalities, and there's a lot of he said, she said stuff with litigation and lawsuits and things like this. But this was an ugly battle. For the last 6 years or so, this was an ugly situation with court, whether it was one side or the other, lawsuits going left and right. And it's interesting to see now where the road's going to take us now that it's over. Billy Mitchell even teased a few new projects coming out, saying that he's going to be announcing them later this year. So touching with this whole Billy Mitchell situation, this involves legal battles with Twin Galaxies, which started back in 2018, like I said, and they basically intensified once 2019 hit with that lawsuit, and there was accusations of cheating, there was defamation claims, there was counterclaims that came out, and it was just super complex. And what's weird is when you look at like the bigger picture, when there's like other stuff out there in the court system, like more serious cases like murder and sexual assault and terrorist attacks and stuff, for as hardcore as this situation got, like holy crap, over a video game high score. And in my personal opinion, there's a lot bigger first world problems than video game high scores, but I do know that it is a very serious road with the gaming community, especially the high score community over there in Twin Galaxies. And this was huge, guys, because again, records were removed and stuff was over here. But Guinness Book of World Records did reinstate his scores back in 2020, his records. And in the meantime, this legal saga continued in the background. There was weird twists and turns. Again, I slowly watched from the side as other people like Carl Jobs and them made videos about it. I think even at one point, even though it seemed like Twin Galaxies had the upper hand with the whole situation, there was some kind of weird situation where their lawyer had accusations of misconduct with some of the eyewitnesses in the whole court case, which basically just caused a whole bunch of like unexpected developments with the whole court case. When you're supposed to have certain conduct and contact procedures with eyewitnesses and things like that, it just seemed like there was a whole different mode of drama that was on top of that, which I don't even want to touch it. I know that caused a whole bunch of convolution and complexity to this whole legal battle. But yeah, now this court case has finally found the resolution, and everybody shook hands. They settled, and the court judge, who I believe her name is Wendy Chang, she basically said she was so glad that she was over with this court case. I can imagine, maybe going in, she didn't expect it to get this heated or this wild. And definitely this is like this. I don't want to try to make light of the situation, but this is like watching the whole entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? And watching Endgame and having it lead up to the whole build up, and then it finally ends. It's like now this legal battle's done. We can look back at it. So it's a lengthy and dramatic gaming saga for sure. And the statement that he had, making up today seemed like it got good response, honestly. As soon as I saw it come out, I saw Drama Alert tweeting about the scores being reinstated. I saw a few other avenues, Zyda and them. But Billy Mitchell's response seems like it's getting positive, for the most part, response to it. So it's good to see that everybody's going to come out of this. Who knows what could come out of it. I know Carl Jobs made a video about it today, insinuating that they settled because Billy Mitchell was going to lose the lawsuit and all this. But Carl Jobs is another level of character on himself. Like, I don't even want to go into that topic. But now it's going to be interesting to see what leads up right here, guys. So what do you think about this whole situation? Share your opinions down below. Do you think it's right that Billy Mitchell's scores were reinstated on Twin Galaxies after this whole thing and the whole settlement? Are you leaning towards his side a little bit, or are you still in the team that he's shady and all that stuff? I want to know right now. Let's have a good little conversation. Let's be nice to each other down below, though. And feel free to share this video. Click the like button. Help the engagement in this. Let's get this out here. So what are your thoughts, guys? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you.